Hello everyone! Aeron Sayno here, or better known as Zayn, the Dinosaur Enthusiast. And I'm officially back after 5 long years. 5 years! 5 years, you guys. So many things had changed. You guys had been wondering where I went, whether I was still alive. And here I am, running, kicking, roaring, and thriving, surviving. There we go. That's the proper term for it. I'm not sick. I didn't die, or I'm not dying in any way. I don't even have cancer, as what most people were saying across the community. But yeah, I'm here. For the past 5 years that I've disappeared, I left you all wondering where I went. I haven't really given out updates, where I was in life, what I was up to, whether I would still resume my old works, my toy reviews, my unboxings, and my showcases at the much beloved Plain Crazy from Roblox. But first and foremost, I would like to sincerely apologize to each and every one of you who was expecting more from me. Since this is my comeback video, of course, you guys deserve some kind of explanation to where I was for the past 5 years. I said that I was going to make some sort of a follow-up video or some sort of an update video, but unfortunately, I wasn't able to do any of those simply because so many life stuff happened, both bad and good, but mostly were good. So how do I start? Alright. Back in 2019, I started making toy reviews of Mattel's Jurassic World line because I have never seen such toy company produce action figures from the Jurassic franchise that would be in a way affordable, accurate to the source material, to how they look like in the films, because before Mattel was even able to get the license for Jurassic World, we only had Hasbro. I know it's a nightmare to most people, but I own one of Hasbro's Jurassic World toys, and that's specifically, it's Indominus Rex in the Gyrosphere set. And back then, when I was really young, when it came out in toy stores, that set was among my most sought-after toys because I've been loving the franchise since I was, I guess, a year and a half old. That's as far as I could remember with watching or seeing the very first film for the first time. And since then, I knew that I became a dinosaur enthusiast. So going back to Mattel, 2018 was their very first release with their Jurassic World toys, specifically the Fallen Kingdom line. And I got to see the promotion pictures on the internet, and it really blew my mind. I remember that Thrash and Throw T-Rex, the biting Carnotaurus, even the Battle Damage Blue, which I proudly still have up to this day. They were these kind of toys that really triggered something in me, because it's like the feeling where once you get this much desired toy of yours, it's like owning or taking home that creature that you really loved seeing in the big films. And for me, it's very much like that, which is why I started collecting. So my collection grew and grew, and I came up with this idea that I would be able to document the very first moments that I would be unboxing these precious toys. And that's how it started. My very first unboxing with Mattel's Jurassic World Legacy Collection, Brachiosaurus. And oh boy, to actually own such a glorious and iconic dinosaur in a toy form is an honor for me. And just remembering those moments when I first opened the box and put my hand onto its sculpt and feeling it physically for the first time. It's such a long time ago, but I remember it very well, like it was just yesterday. After that unboxing, I thought of just making a video documentation of every unboxing that I could do, so that one day I could perhaps look back on them, rewatch them, and remember how it felt to unbox them and to finally hold them. I miss doing those kind of stuff. I missed the anticipation of something that I so badly look forward to. All the toy reviews, toy unboxings, and toy vlogs will all come back. And I assure you guys, this time it'll be bigger, more epic, and definitely roarsome. So I hope you guys would stay tuned for that. Among the original purposes of my channel were, of course, to feature and showcase one of my earliest works, which is basically my toy short films, Predation. One of my biggest reasons why I collect Mattel Jurassic World toys is so that I could make use of them for something meaningful, where I would feature the said dinosaur and animate them in a way that they would have lived 250 to 65 million years ago, showing those toys living, breathing on their own in their natural habitat. I am also happy to announce that I would also be returning to that kind of content. Thirdly, there's my art-related Jurassic stuff. So as you guys know, I also take photos of my dinosaur toys out in the open and then use them for Photoshop time lapses to basically blend them in real-life scenarios so that I could essentially give people some kind of visualization with how big these dinosaurs would be like in real life. The thing is, it was purely accidental because I remember filming what was supposed to be an unboxing of my Amber collection Velociraptor Blue, which I believe is also from Fallen Kingdom line. I was holding out my toy and then I was holding my DSLR at my other hand, and then in one moment, it just lined up. I had this idea of what if I could make this toy right in front of me appear as though it were in real life. And so I took a photo of it and then went to Photoshop and tried editing it with the kind of skills I had back then. That's basically how it happened. I would say that it came from a happy accident, and I'm glad it did. I can't wait to show you guys just how much I have in store for all of you, because I will be making more of those when the time calls for it. So stay tuned for that! Another thing in relation with arts and crafts for Jurassic stuff is basically my contents producing pixel arts. They were originally meant to be my kind of stress outlet. Whenever I feel overwhelmed or tired from school, I would just log on to my pixel art account and start drawing something in pixels. That thing is something that I really miss doing. For those who appreciated my pixel arts, I sincerely thank each and every one of you, because that was not meant to be one of my main contents, but it did become anyway. So thank you all so much for appreciating that. So lastly and finally, the very thing that you guys were most looking forward from me, my Plain Crazy Jurassic showcases. Of course, they're still happening. So many dinosaur enthusiasts from all around the world were looking forward for most of the creatures across the Jurassic franchise. And while I was able to do most of them, I did not have enough time to properly make a showcase of them. Because during those times, I was an incoming senior high school student. Everybody wanted to see my works immediately. They wanted me to release this particular dinosaur. There's also a huge part where a bunch of people were straight up stealing my work. Essentially, that period was extremely toxic in a way. You know, we all played Plain Crazy for fun. I build for fun, come on guys. You know, whenever I feel like building, I would just build. I would build, hopefully, to inspire them to break the boundaries of what you're supposed to do. Because Plain Crazy, as its name suggests, is a plane building simulator game. It's literally that. Plain Crazy, right? It just so happened in my part that I got bored at some point and just tried with whether I could actually make a dinosaur using plain parts. You could just only allow yourself to think outside of the box and to be as creative as you can, as detailed, then you will most surely come up with something unique, something that the Plain Crazy community might not have seen just yet. Although some people were genuinely supporting me all throughout, they were genuinely protective of me, and that includes Sean Ryan, my ultimate Plain Crazy in Roblox buddy. And if it weren't for him, Sean, if you're watching this video, if it weren't for you, I wouldn't have learned a lot of things about basic motor locking, about putting details for the interiors of the vehicles. If it weren't for you, I might have stopped halfway. You've always been there from the start, and you've been ultimately honest about my work, but you've always been supportive. And you've been extremely helpful in my entire Plain Crazy journey. So, Sean, thank you so much for being there. So for context, Sean, Ryan, and I, we met in-game. I wasn't building any Jurassic stuff back then. I was just like, you know, testing out vehicles. I even built a tank for the first time that I've been there. I've played Plain Crazy for a year and a half, and Sean and I, we grew this kind of unbreakable bond. Even after I stopped making contents, we became real-life friends. That guy is the best of the best, and once again, if it weren't for him, I wouldn't have been able to make the T-Rex perhaps, and the dinosaurs beyond it. But other than Sean, truly, I am thankful for everybody else who was always supportive of me, and the people who were always very much looking forward to my works. I just hope that this time the community is much more forgiving, patient, and much more appreciative of what people make. Because honestly, kindness goes a long way, and I would really appreciate it if you guys could also remain kind to each other. Because after all, we're all playing for the sake of fun. Let's not make it competitive. There was never a competition in the first place. We shouldn't be even comparing people to another builder, because each and every one of us has a unique and distinct styling of builds. And in that way, I'm telling you guys, Plain Crazy and the Jurassic community would be even more wholesome than ever. You all have my full assurance that I will be showcasing each and every one of them on the right time. I just need you guys to be patient. That's all I ask, since I am now fully graduated from my beloved university and I am a working young adult with a 9-to-5 schedule. And if I were to make contents, then I would be only able to make them during my free times or during my free days. So I sincerely hope you guys would understand. That's all I ask. So with that being said, I have a very small treat for all of you, my fellow dinosaur enthusiasts. Can you guess the names of these hidden creatures? All of these will have their own Plain Crazy Jurassic showcase. Things had really changed in the past 5 years, and so many things happened. I was able to explore other hobbies, but one thing is certain, I love dinosaurs. I love this franchise, I love the Jurassic saga, and it all brought me back here. All of it is calling me to be Zayn, the Dinosaur Enthusiast, once more. No matter how hard I tried to set it aside, nothing ever comes close with just being that energetic Dinoman that you guys have always seen. So are you guys excited for all of these? Because I sure am! You better stay tuned, my fellow dinosaur enthusiasts. So I hope you guys learned a thing or two from what happened to me in the past 5 years. And again, I am well. I am very much well and alive. I'm not dead, right? I'm not dead. So much great stuff only coming here at Zayn, the Dinosaur Enthusiast. So that's all for today, my fellow dinosaur enthusiasts. Please subscribe and hit that like button. And as always, thanks for watching!